Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Check this out. This guy's wearing a suit. Like it's like pinstripes. Now watch this.
Well, where is this?
It's in Chile. This is the best part. Like this is like like a head camera, you know, helmet cam or something.
Right.
Watch right here. It was like, check it out. Look out, dog. Well, maybe it's the next one. But this is the kind of shit that never happens in America.
Wow.
Yeah. He goes through the little gate thing right here. Somehow he gets back through the gate. Or maybe it's just a...
Yeah.
But watch, just with the dog. Watch the dog.
That is so rad.
Yeah. Hi, dog.
Oh,
Look out, dog.
No way.
Look out, dog. Yeah, it's insane. It gets way crazier.
This is so awesome.
It is unbelievable. It's
so
unbelievable.
You know, we did the skate race at Grand Royal. Did you know about that? We raced from Atwater Village to Santa Monica, 17.5 miles on skateboards.
Was there a metal railing beside?
No, it was nothing like this. I mean, this I assume is going to be over in a few minutes. That was an hour and 20 minutes for the winner.
An hour and 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Well, this is a good one right here. Down the street, down the street, down the street. Hi, everybody.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
This rules.
I've watched it like seriously maybe 50 times.
Oh man.
Like a pipe. Like I thought he was going to go through the pipe the first time I saw it.
It's the insurance the reason this doesn't happen in the U.S. I mean, the second time we did it, when we had like, I don't know, 30 to 50 people at the X Large store, all about to do a crosstown skateboard race across L.A. I was really
This is a good one too. Watch. Hello.
I might be facing a lawsuit soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I stood up and I said, I'm riding my skateboard to Santa Monica. You guys can do whatever you want to. That was my disclaimer.
That was the beginning of the race?
Yeah. I'm not asking anyone to follow me. But if you want to, here's where I'm going.
Here's come around this corner up here. I've watched this so many times I know. Come around this corner, you have to watch it carefully. He has to go up a little ramp around like a dead end, like a wall that he otherwise would run into the wall. And then he has to drop like 40 feet into the crowd. Watch this. It's like...
No way.
Yeah, and it comes around kind of out of nowhere.
Okay.
Here, right here. So there's a wall, up, over the wall, down here. Everything's cool. Oh, guess what? Track's over. No, it's down here.
Oh, whoa!
I mean, it's like it really is an unbelievable course that they I don't know how they mapped it out. Like, wouldn't you like to see how?
Oh yeah.
How they created it? Like,
yeah, the making of. Insane.
Yeah,
and he's riding like a mountain bike, basically, right? It's not.
No,
like
it's like a sponsored mount. Like when you get to the bottom, there's like Cannondale tents. Like I'm sure he's riding he's wearing a suit. That was the funny thing, but I'm sure he's riding a very very.
Yeah, of course. I was just trying to see if it's like mountain bikes or like BMX or what.
Hello, everybody. That's the bottom.
I have like 10 friends I have to send this to.
So now he's at the bottom.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how come people aren't going crazy? Like,
and I wonder if is it timed? I wonder, or is it just like is it just yeah?
No, I think it's a time trial. Anyway.
Wow. Incredible.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. All right. Hi, everybody. Okay, I'm still holding the ODB record.
We were supposed to do an intro.
Well, we were going to play ODB while we listen to the...
We're going to have some intro music.
Okay. Good intro.
Thanks.
All right, let's say hello to everybody.
What's going on out there? Thanks, everybody, for joining us. The weekly Topspin Webcast. My name is Ian. This is Bob.
I'm Bob.
And we're here to answer any questions you have about Topspin, tell you about general goings-on, and just take care. So if you have questions, please drop them in the chat room.
Yeah, as always, the rule is if you have questions about the app or how it works or features coming, interrupt us, put them in the chat. We'll answer the questions. We have a little agenda over here on this laptop.
So let's jump into the store builder and WordPress plugin.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you know we take a lot of pride in from in terms of the way that Topspin has been built is it's really flexible, and it integrates into your website however it is that you want to build it. And we recognize that people build websites in all kinds of different ways. Some people actually don't want to think about building a website at all. They just want it to just work, and they want to click a few times and have it be done, and then they want to go back to being an artist. But some people actually want to build something more elaborate, or they have existing websites that are built on popular technologies like WordPress or Drupal, or some people use services like Verb or Ning, or maybe other platforms like Expression Engine, StageBlock, etc. And we want to support you however it is you want to build your website. So we wanted to take you through, for starters, a couple of videos that we've produced that show you how to use the store builder, which is kind of the simple end of the spectrum, and then the WordPress plugin, which is kind of, I'd say, medium in terms of
of difficulty.
Of difficulty, yeah. You don't. It's a little harder than a few clicks, but it's still not that hard to build a really compelling website. And obviously, WordPress has
agreed.
millions or tens of millions of users. So, so why don't we show these videos? Are these videos going to? Is the sound going to?
No, I'm not going to play the videos. I don't think we should play them. I think we should just let people know that they're out there.
Okay.
Over the last week, we've had a lot of people writing in saying, "Hey, I heard there was going to be a new, WordPress plugin coming. I saw it in the chat. Hey, what's up with the new Facebook store? I want to, is there ever going to be possible for me to embed offers out of my spin shop into my site?" So I just wanted to start with sort of an update on that stuff and show people, hey, look, if you go on our Vimeo page, you go on the Topspin Vimeo page, there is a how to build a store with Topspin. This will walk you through. Here I'll just quick fast forward through some of this. You won't have sound, but I'll just show it to you. I've
dropped the URL in the chat room as well.
Oh yeah, perfect. And the idea being that this will give you some basic setups on how to configure your store and get your. Oh wow! Look at that! Look at that!
We use a lot of beta software here. One of them is called Safari.
Yeah, wow.
It's not very reliable piece of software, but we try.
Amazing.
Vimeo.com/Topspin.
Yeah, I think the too many videos, too many tabs up probably. Safari's tired.
And Jesse's got the sad trombone for it.
Yeah, really. So this is what you can see a little bit of what the how-to stuff looks like. You can see Jason talk you through the beginning of it. You guys can watch these on your own time, but they're all up here, step by step, how to walk through, how to get started on your spin shop. Good news for everybody, I think that they'll be encouraged by is with a little fingers crossed on Monday. All of the offers and all of the details pages and this entire spin shop store itself embeddable. So be able to get embed codes out of the store. So like you see, if you look on the screen right now, you'll see the less blank store up there. Those individual offers there will actually have embed codes, and you mouse over and be able to copy out embed codes.
Right. So and explain to people exactly what the upshot of that is. So let's just talk for a second about the various ways that you might build a store. So the simplest one, which is being shown here, and what this Vimeo video is about, is using the store builder there's really only 4 tabs there, so to quickly and easily build a store. So you can do that. Now, again, at the other end of the spectrum, you could integrate into an existing web technology like a WordPress or a Drupal or something.
Right. And the reason you want to do that would be because you installed WordPress.org on your site, so you have bandname.com is where your artist website is, or whatever site you're working on. And you want to have a store inside there, have offers in there, and have transactions and memberships and Topspin E4Ms and streaming players. But you don't want to link out to another page for commerce, right? You don't want to drive traffic somewhere else to have to, store / something else.
Right.
So we're trying to make sure that we know that, and lots of folks know that what works and sells a lot of product is custom merchandising and a great experience on your site. Looks beautiful. It looks like your artist has your branding on it. You create a great experience for your fans inside of your site and don't redirect them somewhere else to purchase.
Yep.
So if your site is WordPress, the very practical explanation of what the WordPress plugin does is allows you to build as many pages as you'd like inside of your site that automatically suck in your offers from Topspin via API. So you publish a buy button in Topspin, you click add to API, you go into WordPress, and you actually have an interface there where you can browse and sort, drag and drop what offers appear on your page, and those store pages assume the theme that your site's already using. So your WordPress theme applies to that store, and right there inside of your site, you have a great looking store. Yeah, you flip over here to hit the go button there, almost to show it.
There you go.
So here's a quick practical walkthrough on the on how that configuration works. I install the plugin, type in official Topspin plugin to get it installed. Takes just a couple seconds to install into your. This is all that happens in your WordPress backend. Take a couple seconds to get it installed, and then you actually have a full Topspin settings box on your left rail there. You link it up to your Topspin account with your artist ID and your API key. And if you need to link back into Topspin to find out where to get that stuff, it takes you back into Topspin to do that. And then now you have a couple of really simple and powerful abilities that come. I'm trying to wait for the video to catch up, but they come sort of automatically out of the box here, and that is the ability to create as many stores as you'd like and have those individual stores, and I'm using stores sort of with quotes around it, they're just pages, contain offers that you've tagged inside of the app. So if you take 3 buy buttons and tag them merch, because they all include a shirt or a hat or some kind of piece of apparel, you could then go to WordPress, have a page that was a store that was all about merch and a category in that was merch, and the plugin would sort those items for you and put them into that category. You'll notice here that here the video's caught up. I'm now creating a new store name. What's the name of the store that I'd like? I'd like it to be, all my products is this example. So in this case, you could have this is store slug is exactly the URL. So this would be yoursite.com/all. You can choose the number of items per page. You could choose how your products are sorted by default. Like you'll be able to edit that later. Let the fire engine go past. And then you'll be able to choose inside of this cat, do you want to show just purchase offers, just buy buttons? Do you want to also include your email for media widgets? Do you want to include your streaming players? So you could actually build, the example here might be no buy buttons, no email for media, just streaming players, and have the store be called video gallery, and suddenly you have a gallery of all your video players, all organized on your site in the same UI and an interface that you can control how it looks. You can then sort by offer type, sort by tag inside of it, drag around the order in which things appear. You can make a featured item. So in this case, you've got a high-priced deluxe item that you want to appear first and have a bigger amount of real estate. That's easy to select. And now I can say, oh, hey, now that I've got this sort of auto-built sorting in categories, let me actually drag and drop and reorder that a little bit to make it just look just how I want it to be on my page. Click Save Changes. And there you go on your site, built right inside of your site. You're not linking off somewhere else. This will pop the Topspin purchase flow. This builds your store right inside your site. Puts a nice little light box that pops up to allow you to merchandise stuff, give people a bigger view of products, and you can add as many of these stores as you'd like. So in this case, you're seeing in the demo video, adding another store that's merchandise. You could add one like I mentioned that was video gallery. All of those things are about organizing things and giving yourself a really nice integrated store and commerce experience inside of your site.
And so, but then let's talk just for 1 second. You mentioned the embeddability of the store builder. So and what that's going to give me is an ability to, if I build a store with the store builder, then now I've got a store. I've got a spin shop store. A spin shop store. So I've got a mybandname.spinshop.com store. And
I'll log into it and show folks.
Okay, cool. And then I'll wait for you to do it.
I wonder if Luca's in the chat. Our developer Luca, is he in the chat? Julie's bugging us about where we're having dinner, that's hilarious. Yeah, Julie, let's just have fish. That'd be fine. We'll come west. All right, so let me switch this back over to the. Okay, so I'm in the store builder. I've got my store loading up, and I've got my little offers here. Here's my really ugly 72 musician store where I need to put better looking product images in here. So I published this out. I've got my tabs: home, film packages, director interviews, free downloads. Those are my categories. The point I was making about embeddability is that you like on WordPress, you wanted your store to be part of your domain. You didn't want to redirect traffic outside of the site. You didn't want to have people click off to artistname.spinshop.com. We're building the store builder so that you can use it as building blocks, and it's kind of like store Legos is maybe the right way to say it. The entire store itself will be embeddable, so you can take this whole chunk of all these offers and the navigation itself off of the page and embed that onto your site. So just in an iframe, grab a page on your site that you like. Your site doesn't even have to be as complicated as WordPress or Drupal. It could just be a static HTML site that you like. And here you want to put a dynamic, constantly updating, easy to update store interface. Embed the whole store. You might want to just embed this single offer. So each of these little offer cubes, hopefully, like I said, on Monday, there's going to be a button right here that says grab code. You'll grab that embed code. You'll be able to place these offers on your site inside of a blog post. You could make a custom page with 2 or 3 of them. You could use these as elements inside of bigger designs that that you have come up with custom that makes your stuff look great.
Yep.
So and then if I click through, the other part that will be whoops, I got to go view the store first before I click through and show you. When I click through here on these offer pages, wow, that's really pixelated. This top big offer here, this part will also be embeddable. So this entire top part here, this part will also have its own embed code, and you can place that and a streaming player if there's a player associated with it. That whole chunk could go into your site. So now you've got, to use our Legos analogy, I'll push it all the way through. You've got the big Lego set that embeds the whole store, or you have the individual small Legos that embed the offer, or even just the little mouse over a single offer.
Yep.
And the idea being that you or your fans or bloggers or anybody that would want to give distribution or give exposure to your release can place those things anywhere they want on the web.
That's killer.
That's the idea.
And just to be clear, that's all pixelated because you have crappy images in your account.
Yeah, it's pixelated because it's sort of one of those what's the old expressions?
The
cobbler's children have no shoes.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Good work. The so and also someone asked a good question, which is an extension of this. I just talked to Maria last night. I'm not sure if you were on that about the Facebook store. Mm-hmm. Someone's asking about the Facebook store. Mm-hmm. So the Facebook store is in QA right now, which means it's being tested, and it's coming along. I mean,
Facebook threw us a curveball last week. So I had it on. You weren't here last week. You were slacking.
Yeah, I was snowboarding.
But we had a real roadmap update in the webcast last week, and I was like, hey, it looks like Facebook store is going to come, and then Murphy's Law. As soon as we got off the webcast, Marshall and Maria were talking about it. So got a little API curveball from Facebook and some interaction piece. Got that sorted out. Still in QA, testing it. It looks great. Just so everybody knows where it will go. We were showing you the store, but here I'll switch back over. I'll show you where it will go, so it makes sense. You'll click Configure My Store. Everybody's a little familiar with this interface. You'll get the store builder interface. The Facebook store becomes another button down here at the bottom at the very end, which is the Facebook store. You'll click on it. This window will say, would you like to install this store on Facebook? You'll click yes. And what happens is the entire output of what you've configured inside of your spin shop. So you've built your store, you have all your categories, you got your offers set up, you like the way it's arranged, you got your colors picked out. That gets installed on Facebook via the Facebook app, via the Facebook store. So if you make changes in your store builder, they make changes on Facebook. The two things are linked together and updated at the same time. Come back. So coming very, 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 very shortly.
Yeah, I mean, it's the bottom line. The answer to your question is as soon as it's done through testing, it's done. Mm-hmm. It's developed. It works. We just want to make sure that it works for everybody before we push it out. So could be later this week. I hope so.
Could be middle of next week. Yeah, exactly. There's a question up there about
this week's over.
No, it's not this week. It's not going to be this week. It'll be next week.
Friday
it's Friday. There's a question there about does embedding the spin shop have the whole purchase flow in a lightbox, or does it send people to another page?
Yes.
So there's two answers to that. So there is if you embed the entire store, you click on it just like it functions in the spin shop now. You click through to the details page. There's a buy button there, or if you have a featured offer, use buy button or add to cart on the little offers. So if you push the add to offers, if you push the add to cart button, purchase flow. And purchase flow opens over top of the embedded iframes. It does not open inside of the iframes, as most people would suspect. It's a very, very, very cool piece of code that Ty and Luca have created there. So it actually pops purchase flows just like a buy button would an embedded buy button would anywhere in the wild.
That's killer.
It's really very cool. But if you click more info on one of those embedded offers, you just take that little square and you embed that, and someone clicks more info, that'll take you back to the spin shop.
Cool. All right, let's see if there are.
I hope that answers the question. I think that's what they're asking.
Yep. He said that sounds sick.
It is very cool. It is very cool.
And if you have any problems with it, man, please be sure you come back and hit us up. All right, let's just make sure before we move on that there aren't any other. Oh, will there be any more South by Southwest case studies coming?
Yes, I downloaded them all last night. Actually, they're all complete. I have them all on the hard drive of the computer that Ian is scrolling through. They're all exist, and we're gonna come up with a way to do blog posts and get the videos posted ASAP. But all the videos are polished up. They're approved. They're edited so you can hear them better. They've got nice little intros and explain what you're watching. We've made as nice a package out of them as we could, given that we recorded them.
And are we
with
going to put
webcam.
them all on our blog, or are we doing any of them elsewhere?
Well, there's going to be some that go elsewhere, and we're going to do them all on our blog.
Okay. Yeah, so they will appear all on our blog, and then we want to get them out to a bigger audience. So we're going to work with a partner to get those out.
I started messing around.
Will's asking the Lincoln Park one, yes?
Yeah, so Lincoln Park one, probably not with a partner, but definitely from us.
And you know what? I just want to say, for anybody who isn't in our UCLA class, you're blowing it because I got Lincoln Park to come to class.
The whole band?
No, but
just Shinoda?
Shinoda and Brad.
Wow, cool.
They're UCLA, homeboys, right? So.
Did they go to UCLA? I thought they went to.
Brad did.
Pasadena Art Center.
Brad went to UCLA.
There you go.
Or as it's commonly known, UCLA.
Who calls it that?
All right, let's see anything else
Nobody
here. Let's see.
Oh, I forgot.
Are you able to show people how to take a Topspin widget and put it on Facebook using an iframe?
Oh, that's a good question.
There's a bunch of talk on that in the chat room. Bill, would you mind dropping a link in the chat room? Well, I know it's in the knowledge base too, so maybe Bill could just drop that knowledge base article.
Yeah.
Bill, can you drop that knowledge base article in there?
I'll do it real quick. I'll see if I can find it real fast.
Okay. So it's a good question. So putting, so Topspin widgets into Facebook with an iframe. And also, you might find this interesting. I know that Parker this week built a WordPress plugin that makes...
Greg built it.
Oh, Greg built it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah, Greg built a WordPress plugin too that makes it easy. I don't think that's the one you want.
It's not it.
Knowledge base is only using FBML. Bill, if you could help us out on this one, that would be great, because I know I saw that knowledge base article get sent out over email yesterday. So
yeah, sorry guys, it exists. I'm just struggling to find it on the spot.
And I'm an adult now, said he followed the knowledge base just the other day and it worked, or maybe it was the community forum.
Maybe it was in the community. Yeah, let me look there.
So here's where Bob is going, just in case you aren't already there.
Here it is.
While Bob is doing that, I'll send out a reminder to everybody if you have feedback on the email product, please get that into the forum really immediately. There's a thread there, but we're starting work next week on some upgrades to the email stuff. We'd like to
here
get,
it is.
We'd like
here.
to get
this topic is called.
We'd like to get everybody's comments.
I'll bring that up in a second. This was called "Hey, look, Facebook supports iframes now" in the forum. Is the thread you're after? Showthread.php 210 is your thread.
Okay.
And then down here at the bottom, Parker's got static HTML frame tabs. Super simple and straightforward app to build an iframe tab for your page.
He pasted it in.
All right, love it. While we're in the subject of the forum, let me go out and come back into the feature requests, and I'll show you this calling all email feature requests right here. We'll click into that one. Lots of good stuff here. This stuff is going directly from this thread into the specs. So if you have opinions, questions, all that sort of stuff, please let's get it on this thread quickly. And Adam, our developer Adam, who was on the chat with us last week, and I are in here every day trying to sort this out and organize it into the spec that we're already actively working on. I actually saw some initial new visual designs this morning of what the email send client will look like, and the smart groups targeting and save new smart groups. And if you know how to build an iTunes smart playlist, you're going to love our new smart groups builder. Is the tease I'll give everybody.
Awesome.
One thing that I forgot to add to our agenda, I don't know if this is a good time to bring it up or not, but is the bulk packaging pricing.
Oh, sure.
So I think it's something that I hinted at last week. I want to make it clear it's going to go up next week. We've had a lot of people write in who are using small labels or are marketing service companies who are going to resell sort of Topspin services as part of larger packages to build websites and run marketing campaigns. We've been asked for, I've got eight or 10 artists that I want to have under my same account. Do I have to pay a license fee for all of those accounts underneath there? And right now we're only set up to say yes, you have to pay for every account below that. And what we did was do a bunch of financial research that would allow us to offer sort of a bulk pricing or discount if you've got multiple artists and you want to try to save a little money. That also lets us keep the lights on and keep hiring amazing world-class developers to keep working on the project. So the pricing is as follows. If you want to pre-buy 10 Topspin Plus accounts, that rate's going to be $1,500 a year as an annual license. There won't be a monthly charge for that, but a $1,500 payment will get you 10 Topspin Plus accounts. If you'd like to buy 10 Topspin Enterprise accounts, that'll be $2,500 a year. $2,500 license, 10 accounts, full Enterprise feature set, full Plus feature set for those accounts, and they'll be delivered to you via redemption codes. So the process for that will be, you're going to log in, you're going to click upgrade, you're going to see on that upgrade and purchase screen, interested in a 10-pack, contact us. We'll have to do that transaction, not sort of automated, but it'll definitely, you'll talk to someone on our team, and we'll process your transaction, and then we'll send you 10 redemption codes that give you those privileges for either the Plus or the Enterprise accounts for a year. And you'll be able to dole those out to clients, use them internally for your label, decide however you'd like to use them, but they'll all be Enterprise or Plus accounts. Cool. So I know a lot of people were asking about that. I don't know if there's anybody in the chat who's particularly interested in that part. Not from this day, probably on Monday is the answer. My email is bob@topspinmedia.com. If you'd like to do it today, send me an email. We'll do it today. It's just a matter of graphics and site changes and stuff for us. So if you'd like to do that, bob@topspinmedia.com. Send me an email. Put bulk pricing in your subject, and we'll get it done this afternoon.
Killer.
Yeah.
All right.
Killer. That's what I like to see. I hope
Awesome.
those prices seem fair to everybody.
Yeah, and I mean, just generally, I just answered this in Get Satisfaction the other day, and we've had some really good, encouraging responses from people, just on the costs overall. I think it's always rewarding when people are actually happy to pay because they want to support. When we had Nullsoft in the late '90s, you got nothing for giving us money. But we actually made a lot of money off of $10 donations because people really liked the product, and I think people were happy to say, "Man, I use Winamp. I like it. It brings me a lot of joy. I'm happy to pay you guys so you can keep doing what you do." And we've had a couple of conversations with artists recently. One of them in Get Satisfaction the other day, where someone was asking about using and reusing coupons and whatnot, and I said, if you want to stack up three 3-month things, that'd be great. But we also really appreciate the support because it's what keeps the lights on and allows us to keep paying engineers and paying the people that do customer service and keep doing what we do. It's not cheap to run a business like this, and we really appreciate people who are willing to pay for the service. So thank you. If you are one of those folks, we're doing the best we can to come up with pricing that keeps the lights on here and is fair and affordable for artists. So Thanks everybody for the support. We really, really appreciate it.
A couple more questions, I think, in there.
Let's see.
which is good because it'll keep him from turning this into like the Jerry Lewis telethon.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you got to tell us too if the product's not doing what you expect, or you don't feel like you're getting value.
Yeah, where is Parker today?
And where is Parker?
He's not going to Coachella. Everybody's in
Coachella but us, and there's no way Parker's going to Coachella.
He's not going to Coachella.
Yeah.
I asked him about it yesterday. He's probably just working from home. He's not. I haven't seen him in the office.
Someone was asking where Parker was.
They love Parker here because he's useful.
He is amazing. Yeah, no, it's true. Parker should be. He
answers real questions
all the time. Yeah, that's true.
You can ask him questions and he gets specific. But yeah, I'm not going to Coachella, but I'm going to the Big Four next weekend.
Oh man, it's gonna be kind of.
It's gonna be awesome. Yeah, you got
Four.
Big Four. Anybody know who the Big Four is? Who could tell me who's playing the Big Four festival next weekend? Come on.
Oh, it's like we have a prize now. Like we're gonna have like a
I will give away this piece
Slayer.
of vinyl.
That's yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, you know about that. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The exactly. Metallica, Anthrax, Megadeth, Slayer next weekend. What other questions do we have?
Oh, they're coming in. I'm trying to see.
Is it possible to use Topspin as a newsletter client? You mean? Do you mean to send emails?
Send bulk emails to folks. Is that acquire emails and market to them? Because yes, if that's the
Make
answer.
a subscribe button. Add people straight to the mail batch. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Interested in billing / paying overseas too. You definitely can. Are you looking for?
I think they're asking to be more specific here. Let's go back to we'll come back to the billing overseas question in a second. They're asking for something more specific here. This is the make a subscribe button, add people straight to the mail batch, straight into a newsletter. Oh, I see what you're saying. So inside of the email, if you, I think this is what they're asking, is if I get an email that has the button is in the email saying, if I forward it to you, you can click subscribe. Now you're subscribed because you clicked in from your, like an opt-in. It's also like an opt-in thing. So if you had a bunch of emails that you had imported and you wanted to send to them and get them to opt into the new list, you'd send them a message saying, please join the list, and then they would click and they would join the list. It's like sending them the opt-in email ahead of time.
Gotcha.
I get the ask. I've seen the feature. Let me look into it. Let me write it down as something that I need to check by our trustee and COPPA compliance and all that stuff. If it's how
I
it's
don't really
really
understand
doable.
it, so that's all right. I don't need to at the moment.
Well, I get it, but it's we gotta look at it.
Okay. And what's the Brazilian billing question?
Where's my notes? Here's notes.
If you could, when you put it in the forum, maybe if somebody could help me understand what the use case is. I just don't understand what the use case is, but that's all right. We don't want to waste your time with it now. While Bob's doing that, I'm going to do a little demonstration of. Anybody familiar with Play Button? Seen playbutton.co? I think these are so cool. So what I have, what these are albums.
There, open it.
I will. Here's a bunch of them.
This one? Is this
He says he put it in the forum last week. Oh no, how to use TSM widgets and paying process here in Brazil. So you're looking at
Oh yeah, he's asking for Brazilian currency and paid in Brazilian currency.
Okay.
Which is still, I saw your stuff in the forum, still under investigation. I need to be honest with you. It's going to take us a bit to get to the point where we're adding more currencies and payment systems, because we're in the middle of a project where we're actually going to try to pay out the currencies that we do transact in: pounds, euros, yen. I'm trying to think if there's 8 of them. There's a bunch more. That we're trying to get out Australian dollars, Canadian dollars. That we're actually able to pay out in those currencies and account in those currencies. It's not as simple as collect the money in your currency and pay you back in that currency without actually banking in your country and holding those funds in a bank account of that currency. The reason why it's more simple than it should be, or it's more complicated than it should be, and not as simple as we'd like, is that if we do it the easy way, a fan buys something with a Brazilian, in the Brazilian currency, that money gets immediately converted into dollars, deposited into your Topspin account and the Topspin account, in your Topspin bank account. We process do all regular accounting, bandwidth deductions, commissions, all that sort of stuff, pay your wholesale rates if you are an enterprise customer, and then pay you out net accounting in dollars. And if you want that net accounting payment to come back to you in Brazilian currency, it would have to be converted back from dollars into Brazilian currency. So the currency conversion fees run anywhere from a couple of points to 5, 6, sometimes 7%, depending on how the currency fluctuates. And there's a currency risk involved in that the conversion between a Brazilian currency and the dollar, the difference between those two currencies changes all the time over time. So sometimes you benefit, sometimes you would really suffer. So the right way to do features like that is to actually process the transaction from the customer in the currency, keep the money in that currency, do all the accounting, and then pay the money out in that currency. That requires separate banking and accounting setups by currency. It's it's no small task. It's quite a bit of work. So being totally honest, with you, as far as we can tell right now, while we know the Brazilian market is big and huge and it's going to be a big opportunity for us, and we want to be there, we have a lot of customers already in the app paying that conversion fee in Canada, Australia, all of Europe, and in the UK, and we need to figure out how to stop overcharging those guys before we take on the burden of any other ones. So I understand your problem completely. Trust me, my heart goes out to wanting to support it and wanting to do it.
Especially because there's no iTunes and whatnot.
There isn't, exactly. That's what I was trying to allude to, is how good that market is going to be and how important it could be. It's going to be important to us. We're going to get it done. The way these things happen is just sort of putting one foot in front of the other. So keep after us about it. We'll keep being honest. We'll keep it on the list. I just want to be really clear. I don't want to mislead anybody that it's a couple of weeks away or anything. It's a serious task.
There are some more questions there, and then we can come back to my little play button side.
This one is a duck smoking a cigarette.
We'll come back to this. Let's see. So Muse Formation is asking, would it be possible to upload a standard fulfillment card of postal rates for shipping in the U.S.? I would say no, actually.
Yeah, the answer is unfortunately, sadly, no.
Because we assume that you have, special costs that you're going to mark up and whatnot. I mean, the simplest thing to do would be to just ship the stuff to us and let us ship it for you. If you didn't want to go through that hell, which I totally appreciate. Or you could set it on a per product basis, which would save you that, but has drawbacks as well.
Yeah.
But I think the problem with going with a standard rate is it doesn't include packaging.
It doesn't.
It doesn't include any of your time.
The only thing we could do in a standard way would be to just upload the mail charges.
Yeah, we could. That's really what he's asking.
And that would.
He's saying can just open them, just put the mail charges in. That's all he wants to do.
Yeah.
Bill, what do you think of that one?
Yeah, that's a good question. We'd have to ask our customer support and fulfillment guys, what their opinion is on that. We're assuming you want to pay for the boxes and the trip to the post office and the packaging and the bubble wrap and all that sort of stuff, and that you want to have a cost.
He's saying yes, but you could add these costs to the rate card after you make the template. So give them a template which is just the U.S. Post. So we could just have like a template for just the U.S.
Oh, I see. So what it might be, maybe what he's just asking for is to give me a template that I can edit rather than create one. Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I get it. Sorry, guys. Sometimes it's I know it's tough to put succinct questions in the chat, and we're trying to guess sort of exactly what you're getting at. That's a very different kind of request. That is basically, make me a really easy to edit thing, which is actually a really good idea. Yeah, Bill, can you connect here, and let's see if we can get a decent spec here.
Yeah. So Bill, I think it's a good idea to just have a template, which is the basic USPS charges, or maybe USPS plus 10% or something, right?
Well, I think we should be careful. I think we should just make it be the U.S. Well, we'll talk through it with the spec, but the idea being here's what the post office is going to charge you. You can go in and edit these fields however you like and put your markup on top of them. depending on your packaging or how far you might
Right,
live
but
90 miles
if
from
we
the post office.
made it, let's say we made it, suggested, and it was USPS plus 10%, right? Like, well, let's say we just made one that was like me, you, and Bill sat down and said, "This is what we would do if it were us."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that was the generic one. Like, it's USPS plus 10%, which is probably going to account for
most of the cases.
Most of the cases.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Okay, cool. That's a really good suggestion.
Bill's saying
to
6 to 10% is a good idea. Okay.
All right. That's really, really good feedback.
Yeah. All right, Bill. Is that on the list, homie?
Let's do that. I'm adding to my notes.
Okay, so hey, if anybody is interested in these play button things, let me know, because we can help you get 500 of these made at a time. They're super cool if you haven't seen them. So what's happening here is I'm actually listening to the album. Think about this for a second. It's the first time that the player and the format are one.
The same thing.
There is no.
It's also a great
CD player, tape player, 8-track player.
Yeah. It's a great way to do advances and send media to video directors or press or.
So that's the back of it. It's not really focused, but there's a few buttons there. You got play, skip, next. There's like
and volume, right?
With the volume, hold down, skip, and next. And then this is like an 8-channel or a 9-channel EQ.
Really? There's an EQ on there?
Yeah. So this is the new Pains of Being Pure at Heart record. Right here. I'm listening to it now. It's so killer.
This is the Bubbles record?
That's the Bubbles record, yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
They're very cool. They're very, very cool.
Yeah, so
marketing partners out there who are running campaigns for larger artists, it's a race because I'm gonna find a big band somewhere and we're gonna do an album release on
I've already got
over. So
I've already got them coming in June.
The race is on. See if you can see. You have one in June.
If anybody knows, what band has Ian been working with for 17 years? Do they have a new record coming out next month? I think they might. All right.
That's the worst, the lamest tease ever.
Yeah, thanks. All right. Let's talk about some new releases.
Oh, yeah.
So someone's asking how much.
Crashed. I don't have any
on these things. It depends on how many you make, generally speaking. They're between, if you make a ton of them, they're about $7.25 each. If you make 500 of them, they're generally about $9 each. They retail for about $25. We have a good price on them. So if you want to get 500 made at a good rate, hit me up and we'll help you out. Okay.
You want to do some releases?
So, these are partners. If you want more info on the players, just hit one of us. I'm Ian at topspinmedia.com. He's Bob at topspinmedia.com, and we can get you set up. It's pretty easy. I've got some art forms for you, and then you can you just get them made. It's like getting CDs pressed, except cooler.
That is not the URL that I was after.
That is so awesome, though. That's a way better URL.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. TotosMusic.net. I want to show this one because this Ephraim is so cool. Like, look how well done this Ephraim is. It's like the little bar, color. It's just just super. It has a stock feature of the platform, but really cool. This is a good one. If you guys are Dodos fans, this cool record's out. Fancy stores. Big Ephraim that I really like.
Ephraim means what, Bob?
Email for media. Sorry,
that's right.
Email for download is what it should say. I think we're. Let's take a quick vote. So this came up in the office the other day. Was the email for media or the connect for media widgets? Would they make more sense to everybody if they were just called email for download?
I don't even know if we need the.
I'm just curious. I want to take the
Yeah, I mean, I'd never thought of it before, but yeah, it's definitely a case of us being too clever.
Well, the idea was that it was like, wow, it's really good feedback. Was that I think that people. The feedback was when I see media, I think, I'm going to do media at WordPress.
Says no. He wants E4M.
Jesse says no. And there's a probably they would. +1 for E4M. Email for media is cooler.
Wow.
That's gone the other way. See? That's why we take the poll.
Yeah, I guess so. Wow.
All right. Fine. I stand corrected.
I'm not sure what the cohort we have here, but
Yeah, we might have the Smarties on the. I'm quite sure we have the Smarties on there. So let's go look at this TV on the radio release. Cause I don't know if anybody listened to this record yet. Everybody just talks about it. But everybody just listened to it.
Oh, dude, it's awesome.
It's really good.
It's awesome.
I mean, really, really, really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's quite.
It's funny because the first TV on the radio EP I loved. I played the shit out of it. I can remember. It's one of those albums where I can remember exactly where I was, and people don't remember it. But I mean, it was like nobody had heard of it. I got it from Travis at Buddyhead, and he was super into it, and he turned me on to it, and I was like, oh my god, this is so awesome! Just those 4 songs, plus that Pixies cover, and it was so good. I listened to it over and over, and then the Return to Cookie Mountain or whatever that came afterward, I was really not feeling it.
Return to Cookie Mountain was even the record after. This is the EP.
Was?
Yeah, it was the EP. Then there was a record in between, which is called don't know. Return to Cookie Mountain is the second.
Oh, really?
Dear Science is the third. This is the fourth.
So then those first 2. That's right. I remember. I'm trying to remember what that one was called too, but. I just remember being totally underwhelmed, right?
Bloodthirsty, desperate thieves,
yes,
bloodthirsty somethings.
Desperate something, bloodthirsty babes or something.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, exactly.
And I was totally underwhelmed. The Dear Science was the one that kind of turned me around. I was like, oh, this band is actually going to evolve into something rad. And this record then is like,
that's really cool.
Oh man, it's already sunk way in. So yeah. Anyway.
I haven't heard this
TV
yet.
on radio record, awesome.
Yeah,
I listened to it once through. New Paul Simon record. He's actually playing here next week, 3 nights, 2 at the Pantages, 1 at whatchamacallit, I think the Fonda maybe.
Yeah, they was in Music Box.
Yeah, right. Music Box.
I don't know if you've ever seen Paul Simon live. Have you seen him live? Have you ever seen the show?
The question was who did the TV on the radio site?
Who did do the TV on the radio site?
Let's see if anyone out here knows.
I bet David knows.
Hey, y'all know who did the TV on the radio site? Who made the TV on the radio site?
Ian's yelling to the office. You guys are curious. Eisner's. There you go. Very cool. There you go.
Bring up the Eisner's website.
They knew it in the in the chat.
Yeah.
These guys.
There you go.
New website coming soon.
Okay, so wait, Paul Simon. You were asking if people have seen Paul Simon?
Oh yeah, I don't know if you haven't seen.
It was Zoe's first show. She was 8 months old.
It took an 8 month. Well, I took
the Rhythm of the Saints tour.
That's pretty cool.
1991.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ben saw his first show at 8 months old too.
Was that Pavement?
It was Pixie. Yeah, well, no, he didn't go to the Pavement show. He just went to the Pixie show.
Right.
And he just went to the Troxy show with his little baby headphones on, and I got yelled at by some lady for having a baby at a rock show.
Right. Paul Simon is funny to see live because you realize there's this little man up there, and that sound that you've heard your entire life comes out of that little man.
Yeah.
Like I just remember thinking that I was like, oh my god, like that's the guy. Yeah. That's his voice. It's unbelievable.
Well, what's interesting too about it is the band that he puts together. Well, you'll notice when you go see Paul Simon live, there's like 47 people on stage,
right?
And each one of them plays one note. Like this is how you get to. This is how you can be amazing live. Like this is a secret for all bands out there. How to be amazing live. Get 25 people in your band and tell everybody to play one note. It sounds amazing.
I don't know, man.
Wait till you go.
Didn't work for Parliament. Yeah,
that's a good point. Well, okay, get 25 sober people and tell them people to pay one note.
Anyway, so I listened to the record once through. It sounds great. Everyone's saying it's his best record in however many years. I thought it sounded good. I'm a fan actually. I actually really liked the last record, which was the Brian Eno record. Yeah, the record is incredible.
That was the Cape Man one?
No. That thing is I'm not backing the Cape Man one. It was called Surprise, I think was the name of it. Incredible.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
It was really if you listen to no choruses.
Really?
Yeah, it's
the new record or that one?
The old one, yeah, the Eno one. You have to hear it. It's so good.
Want to talk about this?
Yeah, so you talk about it. The Tron reconfigured.
Well, so this one, the thing here to do is to give shout out to Version Industries. Casper and those guys over there have really built. I don't know. We should have hyped this a while, but this has been coming out for a long time. This site's been up, but if you watch Tron, if you're a nerd, if you pay attention to this thing, I mean, the experience that they've built here, the custom merchandising that exists here, match up with the film and the artwork and the whole thing. And yes, it's a great big gigantic Disney backed thing, but this is very, very, very cool. The Daft Punk music is great. The remixes are even better. I'm not personally a gigantic Moby fan. I sort of admire him. He's one of the welcome to the platform. But guys here are really excited about it. He's turning me around with his remix from here. I don't know if you've heard the Moby remix.
I haven't actually.
This was killer. Fantastic. So this is worth pointing out because it shows off how custom you can merchandise something with Topspin. All this stuff are Topspin offers. There's Topspin buy buttons underneath all of this stuff. The little keypad lets you do an E for M. It pops up and you can actually type on the keys. You can see the keys mousing over. But my favorite part about this, I'll show folks, is is you choose View Source. Have you seen this?
No. Dude, that's rad.
That's some attention to detail.
Yeah.
Which is to build a custom site for an artist or an experience or an album, and to hide these little things inside of it. It's just Version Industries is really, really talented folks, but the ASCII art of the character is pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Do we have questions pop up?
We do. We have a question about the fan tab. Is there an option to see what city, state, country the fan is from? Right now it's just showing influence, age, gender.
I'll show you how to do that. Click over here real quick. So they're looking on hang on a second, let me leave my account here. Okay. Okay, so here's the fans tab. This happens to be my account. Here are people that have purchased from me. If you click into the fan details page for that individual fan, if they've purchased, obviously you'll have a lot more detailed information about them than if they haven't purchased. So here you can see zip code, city, state, how you acquired them, and their total revenues plus their name and their email address. If this person hasn't purchased from you, let's get somebody here who hasn't purchased from me, and there are a lot more of those. Oh, that person did make a purchase. Let's see. Oh, maybe I'm on. Let's take it this way. Get way down here where there's someone who hasn't purchased from me. Okay, so here's somebody who hasn't purchased. And on this fan tab, I don't have first name. I have a little bit of location. I have a zip code and a country. But this is a sort of an imported address that was someone that I knew. And now I have via IP detection their geographic information because they opened an email from Topspin. But what I don't have is I don't have the rest of it. I don't have the purchase history. I don't have their mailing address. Those things you can't collect until someone makes a purchase. Am I answering the question? And
if you wanted to get all of them, you would just export it to CSV, right? And then you could see all the zip codes.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, you could very easily. Exactly, you could very easily just click on. Whoops! Don't do that. You could very easily click on your export, get your whole list here, download data as a CSV, and sort based on your zip codes.
Right, and you can also, of course, over here target people within a certain place.
Yeah, so if you want viewed on the main list, so if you want to see by within postal code, I can do on the main view. I can choose, a radius on that main postal code, and view my fans based on that. So in this case, I'm looking at 200 miles, and I've got 638 fans.
And another question is how to filter those people who haven't purchased by state.
Okay, so this actually speaks to the smart groups builder that we're talking about for the email release.
Yep.
So the idea is they want to filter again. We don't actually have the ability yet to filter twice.
Right.
So the only way to do this would be to which is a really painful and much maligned process, would be to export this list, cut it in half in Excel, and import it back in as a tag. The new Smart Groups Builder actually allows you to pick a group of people and then pick more data inside of them and save that as a group. So I want everybody in the UK who hasn't made a purchase. I want UK non-purchasers. That's what I want to market to. I want American purchasers. I want to market to them separately. That's what the new Smart Group Builder allows you to do in a couple of clicks. It's definitely possible in the app now, but it's a very, very tedious workflow.
Okay, so I'll keep going here. We have 2 people asking to show the zip codes on this page. Is there what would be the value of showing them on that page? I mean, I think one person's just saying that way I would know they're being collected by my E4Ms, but okay, I get that. But there's not much you can do with them from this page.
They're not actionable on this page.
Because it's not really, you're not really,
targeting for
the things that we put on this page, just to be clear why the things that are on this page are on this page, is because they're things that make sense to sort by.
Correct, yep.
And so the sort by zip is, we put in the smart groups out to the,
Okay, so tours is what they're saying, is targeting for tours. So I'm on all fans. I'm just gonna here's my use case. Here's my all data, all my fans here, and I want to send a message to people about a show. Is that the right? I mean, I'm just making somebody put yes or no if that's the right. That's the right use case we're talking about here. I'm going to email fans in Chicago.
Yes, say from Alabama.
From Alabama. Okay, cool. Well, we don't have targeting at the state level, which is the part that would make that easier if we had state level targeting. But if I wanted to get everybody in Alabama, the smartest way to target that would be to say, what is the zip code of the club where you're playing?
Yeah.
So for the sake of that, let's use, in this account, because I know where there's data is, let's use, you're going to play the Record Bar in Kansas City. And that's where your show is. In that case, what you would do is you could do it one of 2 ways. You could say within region, I want to be within, in this case we'll do Kansas. I want to be, you're going to play in Lawrence, Kansas. I want to be, here's Lawrence, Kansas within that region. That's 602 fans. Or I could say, give me the postal code of the Record Bar, which is in Kansas City, plus 200 miles around that. And now here I have 637 fans, and I want to target them via email. I would actually do that in the email tab. I would send them an email and say, hey everybody, I want to send you an email. Smart group, the recipients are based on your postal code. Your postal code is 64111 plus 200 miles. Add those folks to the email, and now I have 637 people I'm going to target for this tour announcement.
Yep.
Now, admittedly, this interface and this UI is not great, and we hate it more than everybody else does. This is the project we were talking about on last week's webcast. This is what our developer Adam and I are talking about. This whole interface on how you select and choose and who you're targeting based on their zip codes, their purchase history, how you acquired them, the widgets they came from. All of that's getting a brand new UI and a lot more powerful features.
We have a couple questions here about international too. Canada, UK. Let's talk about where we are and what we need to do in those international.
So outside of the U.S., we can only target at the country level currently. We are storing city data. We're storing postal code data when it purchases, but we're not you can't target anybody in Birmingham versus Leeds versus London versus Newcastle.
Right.
So we need to come up with a standard by which we group up those areas. Postal code is actually not the standard you can do. You can do it for some countries, but not others. It's actually a pretty tricky technical problem to figure out how to target those.
And one other question. So he noticed that when you went to the one tab, it didn't show you the list of fans. It only showed you the number of fans.
Oh yeah, I switched over because I wanted to send them an email. No, you're saying about in the app.
Yeah, in the app.
Yeah, because I did region selection. The region selection used to display everybody on the map, and then the list underneath. We took the maps out because the maps didn't scale well or weren't terribly accurate.
Yeah.
So we need to, when we redo the new setup, right when it comes back, we'll either come back with a viewer list, or we're actually going to come back with some data about that list of fans.
Yeah, and the other thing that I think is helpful here that
it's under all this is under this is the part of the app that's getting the most sort of reconstruction and rearrange right now.
Yeah, Adam, who you met last week, is actively tearing this part of the app apart right now.
Yeah.
The other thing that was a good suggestion here, though. So what they were really coming back to the issue of having the zip codes on the front page.
Mm-hmm.
What one of the persons said is, if you get a good blog post in Australia, how many of your new people are coming from there at a glance?
Oh,
and
that's
I think generally speaking, showing an aggregate view of where are my
new
fans
fans coming from.
It also might be something that we could do with Next Big Sound. To give them.
It wouldn't be that hard though for us to show you sort of you've had this many new fans. From
the aggregate view.
Yeah. We're trying to get away from showing you the list for a couple of reasons. The list what's nice about the list is that you could see it rolling in real time.
Yeah,
that's the benefit of the list.
And you can sort it.
But you can't really take action from it in a way that's really super powerful. And we know a lot of things about the list that you've chosen that we're not telling you. Like we know what the total lifetime sales value of that list is.
Mm-hmm.
We know what percentage of that list was imported by you, and what percentage of it was acquired by your Topspin campaigns. That's valuable to know. Like you might realize that all of your imported addresses weren't as valuable as the ones you're acquiring. So there's a lot of things that we know about those lists that we could show you at a glance that we're trying to work through, putting on the top level of your fans tab. But I get it. I get your point about putting the zip code on the front there, just as you're watching them roll in to see where they're coming from, is an interesting. Might give you some hints at where someone's giving you some promotion or where your audience is concentrated. So it's good feedback.
We should wrap up because it's noon, which
means
we've been here an hour.
Wow.
Did
we answered all the questions?
I think we got most of it covered, and there's always next week. But yeah, I think we got most of this covered.
Okay.
This is a suggestion for the Connect for Media.
State filter. Yeah.
If you have more of these, please just drop them in the in the community.topspin.net. Will, if you are watching us at 5 o'clock in the morning, thank you.
5 a.m. on Saturday.
Damn, I appreciate that.
That's hardcore.
Are you up early or up late? Is the question. Given it's Australia, I'm going to go with up late. Just woke up. Oh no, that's wait. 12 p.m.
Now I'm totally confused.
12 p.m. here. Oh, here? Okay.
Oh, it's Friday night in the UK right
So
now.
one more thing I want to say. I just want to say if you guys aren't already registered with Sound Exchange in the US, you should be. Sound Exchange has it's fun. So check this out. I was with David Dorn on Wednesday night at our UCLA class. David runs digital for Rhino, which is the catalog division of Warner Music Group, and he told me that Sound Exchange has become one of the major revenue sources for the labels overall.
Really?
Yeah. It used to be, a pittance, and now it's something real.
Is that YouTube driving that, probably?
I think
streams?
it's mostly Pandora. Actually, I think they're probably the
yeah.
largest contributor there. But Sound Exchange is really interesting because, if you are played on U.S. radio, publishers get money, ASCAP, BMI, etc. But for the mechanical part, you make exactly zero for the recorded music part. Radio pays 0%, and always has. Satellite pays about 7%. And for a period of time in online radio, we were paying 125%. But now, especially for the pure play guys, they've got it down to a percentage somewhere in the 40s, and that money gets paid to Sound Exchange. Sound Exchange actually pays the label, the publisher, and the artist directly. That's the other thing that people don't know is you might get paid via your label, your royalty rate on Sound Exchange, but also Sound Exchange pays artists directly. Mm-hmm. So if you're an artist, you really, really, really want to register for Sound Exchange. They have, I can't remember, tens of thousands of artists who they don't have information for.
And millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars that they're earning interest on when you should be earning interest on it.
That's great. Brian Calhoun is 100% correct.
Yeah.
That's the guy to reach out to at Sound Exchange,
Yep. And so Brian asked me to join the Sound Exchange webinar, which is, I believe, next Thursday. And
you can register for it. There's links here on the blog. If you click here to register, we'll take you to the. It's going to happen via GoToMeeting. It's definitely a a WebEx sort of scalable meeting, you can sign up in here and get an account. You'll have to install some, I think, rather harmless GoToMeeting software on your laptop, but you'll be able to watch and ask questions and participate online.
Yep. So Will's asking what I'll be discussing. Mostly, I'm just going to talk about Topspin and try to introduce Topspin to Sound Exchange's audience. So for you guys that are further along, it's what I say is probably not going to be that interesting. But there's going to be a lot else that Sound Exchange talks about. What they do is they just give a quarterly update to artists, and you can send in questions ahead of time. So if you have questions for Sound Exchange, about Sound Exchange, fill out that form and send them in.
Yeah, sure.
So Jesse, I'll post it out on Facebook for sure.
Yeah, I think it's already on the at Topspin Media Twitter account too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we should do too. If you guys want to get a hold of us, put our Twitter things in there too. Simple ways to get a hold of you or I or Topspin Media. You guys are always welcome to email me directly. It's bob@topspinmedia.com if you want to.
And mine's Ian at topspinmedia.com.
Please make sure if those are feature requests that you also duplicate those posts into the forum so everybody can benefit from the feature requests.
Yeah, it's definitely best to put feature requests and whatnot into the forums so that people can pile on. Will's asking how the Country Music Awards were. They were awesome. It was a great weekend. we had a good time. Yeah.
Who'd you see? That was great. Did they have shows on the side?
Yeah, there's shows all over the place. I mean, there were shows at the beach at Mandalay Bay, and it was great, man. There was a ton of. I mean, everybody's there all weekend long.
So showcases, parties.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All night, every night. So, all right, we're over time. Let's wrap it up.
Okay. That's it. We'll see you next week. Hit us in the forums. Hopefully next week we'll have embeddable stores, Facebook store, maybe some teasers of what the new email and smart group targeting stuff will look like.
Cool. Thanks everybody for spending the time. Appreciate it. See you next week.
Bye. That's really funny because you just hit this and it stops.
Oh wait, hold on. We need an outro.
Oh yeah, outro. Yeah. You should put on the outro.
Yeah. Are you taking baby?
Yeah, go to bed, Will. Will, that's crazy.
Oh, yeah.